So firstly we go to the PCB designer and we open the required file. So this is the file we'll be working on. You right click the mouse button and go to quick utilities and select design parameters. In the display tab we change everything as shown and turn on the grids. Then you go for more in setup grids and we define the spacing for the edge. Once this is done, you select OK and OK. Then on the right hand side we have an option called Add Connect. We click on that icon and we go to view and zoom fit. So this shows the entire design. Next thing we go to display blank rats all. So this takes out all the rat nets that are present. And then again we go to display and show rat net. So these are only going to show the net options right now. In the right hand side in the find by menu, find by name we go to net, and in the below we type MCKL. And once you press tab, we can either use Z stroke or choose view zoom by points to zoom in on the connector J1. So now we go to add connect icon again and we go to the options tab and enter everything as shown. Click on the pin of J1 connector. You can click on any pin. Now since the top layer is active and the pin is through whole pin, you are adding a connection to the top layer of the board. If this were a surface mount pin, the connection would be added to the layer on the SMD pin was defined. Now we can continue to click on the points for the line until you reach the destination pin. You can make a trace something looking like this. So this shows a connection of pin in J1 connected to the pin as shown. If you make a mistake, you can right click and select oops, and once you're done you can right click and select done. Next we talk about is deleting edge. So again we go to the first we click on delete on top, and then we go to the find tab, click all off button and check the C lines on. Click on MKCL net that we just created. So the line is now highlighted and it's gone, and you right click and select done. Now we use the pre-select mode. For this we go to setup, application mode and edit edge. Select the right mouse button in an area where the cursor is not over the element and select customize and enable single click execution. Now select on the J1 pin of the MKCL net. You are now in the add connect command. When the itch edit application mode, if you select on a pin via piece of edge or rat's nest, you will automatically start the add connect command. Click to continue points from the line until you reach the destination pin, as we did previously. So this way we can create the rat's nets, and once we are done we can right click and select done. Now we do inserting vias. We go to add connect icon again. In the options tab, if you mention the top, bottom layers, and the next option will be not available, click on the pin of MKCL net in J1 pin. Once again, begin adding segments from the pin towards its destination. When you have reached a point where you would like to add a via, double click with the left mouse button. Finish the connection all the way to pin U5 component, or whichever is desired. Now again we right click and select done. Now we use the bubble options. Click rat's nests, rats all, and you can zoom in any area to view what you want. Now you go to right click and select done. Go to the file menu and save this file as before route. Save as before route. So the next lab talks about preparing an auto routing. So for this, first we make the plane layers visible. So we continue on the same file. We take our cursor to the visibility tab in the right hand side. Set the checkbox options are shown. Select planes. Then check all for planes, making sure ground and VCC are checked as shown. Then we go to display color and visibility option. Select stack up conductor folder. Then you can select the color for pin via H to green for the ground subclass. Pin via and H. And select the color for pin via H to red in the VCC subclass. So this is going to give the color for each layer as we've selected. And select areas. In areas you go to route keeping. Toggle through all checkbox to on, and then click OK. Then select display and de-highlight. Then we go to the options tab window and click nets. So this is going to show us all the nets. Since the figure looks very complicated, we can go to blank all the rats, so it's going to be simple. So now we can only see the nets. Now we do the creating the shape for VCC power layer. So we go to shape, polygon. In the option form, set the active class to H as and the active subclass to VCC. So right now we are defining only the VCC layer. So set the shape to fill type to dynamic copper in the options tab. Right. Use browse button to assign net name. In this we select VCC. Click OK. Now we start from the upper left of the corner, zoom into view where you want to start the polygon from, and begin adding the polygon shape as desired. Again the same thing, if you do a mistake you right click and select oops, so it goes back to where you had earlier stopped, and once you're done you right click and select done. You can do several things with it. We can go to shape and edit boundary and change the size and stuff like that. Next we do is creating the shape for ground layer and assigning the ground net. So we do the same thing. First we go to edit, Z copy, in the options tab we select that we change the subclass to ground, and again we change dynamic shape. We select on the create dynamic shape if it's not already set. Select on the VCC shape that you just added. The VCC shape is copied to the ground layer. The outline is now going to match exactly to what your VCC shape looked like. So now you right click and select done. Using visibility window, turn off the VCC layer. So now this shows only the ground layer as we had selected to green. Next we go to shape, select shape, avoid. Select the ground shape. Now it's going to highlight. Use the browse button in the options window. And now we scroll down to find the ground. Select it and click OK. Now we right click and select done. Now we've just made a copy of the ground subclass as similar to the VCC shape. Next we go to setup and design parameters. In the display tab we toggle find pads and thermal pads to on, and we click OK. Next we again go to the visibility tab and turn on the VCC layer to turn on and turn off the ground layer. So this is only displaying the VCC layer now. In the visibility window, toggle the plane layers to off and the conductor layers to on, and plane layers to off. Make sure you select all the layers. Now we save this file. Here we have designed the VCC and ground layers. In the next lab we are using the PCB router, so we are working on the same file right now. We go to route, and route editor. In the auto router, select auto and route. Auto route, we go to route. So in this dialog box you enter everything as shown, and then you click OK. Now this is how it begins to route for each and every layer. So now this shows it has some design auto routing problems. We are going to see what the problem is. For now we go to file and quit this file. Save and quit. In the PCB editor we save this file too. Save it by a new name called routed. So now we've created the routed.brd file. Next lab we talk about checking for unconnected pins. So this gives us a total summary of what we haven't connected. We go to view and zoom fit to view the design full screen. Then we go to display, show rats and all. Using the report command we have to go to tools and select reports. Scroll through the list and double click on the unconnected pins report. And then you click report. So here it shows total unconnected pins are 14. So this gives us a summary of what we are missing on. So we close this and close the report control window. Now we go to display and status. You can either use report command or drawings option to check for the unconnected pins. So here it shows how many unplaced symbols are there. So for us right now it's 0. So we select OK and we save this file. Okay, so this is already saved. We need not. Next we do is improving routed connections. We are working still on the same file. We click on the slide option in the top menu. In the fine windows we select bias and clinch sex. Set your visibility window to as shown. We select the planes, turn off all the conductors, turn on the top and all subclass. In the options window, set maximum 45 length to 25. Now click any segment of edge in your display. And the segment you pick travels with the cursor right now. So you can see how it moves. So you can choose the location as required and set it back. This is for a precise design so that we don't get confused ourselves about how the edge is going through. Now we right click and select done. Now we go to setup application mode and edge edit. Now select and drag a piece of edge to slide. When you have moved the edge to where you wish, release the left mouse button to place the edge. So this is the same thing we are doing. Now we'll move, create and delete vertices. For that we go to edit, select vertex. Click a corner or the vertex of an edge line and choose a new location and click at that point. So this is how we can change the vertex. You can right click and select done. We can also delete a vertex by again similarly going to edit vertex. Again you click on the edge as required. Right click and choose delete vertex. Now we right click and select done. So this is how we can make changes to the vertices what we have created. Next is replacing edge and using the cut option. So again we are working on the same file. If not, we can go ahead and open the file required. We can now use the Z stroke or choose view and zoom by points. Now we find an existing edge line that we want to alter and then add connect icon. Select on the edge that we want. Now move your cursor to the options tab and make sure the replace edge option is enabled. Enable. Start adding a line from the point on an existing edge line, then define a path that would form a loop. When you click on a part of the original line, the older part of the loop disappears, as we can see. Now once we're done with it, we right click and choose done. Similarly we can cut, delete, slide for various operations. Now we use the cut to change width. We go to edit, change. We go to the Finds tab and toggle on the clean segs. Rest everything will be off. Now we go to the option tab and we select everything as shown. New subclass will be top. Class will be edge. Edge. Top. Then we right click to display and a pop-up menu and choose cut. Click on the 2 points within the line segment where we want to do this change. Any 2 points. Now this section is highlighted and changes width, as you can see. Now we right click and choose done. And finally we learn about running gloss. So we go to edit, properties. Then we go to the find tab and change the find filter to all on and toggle nets on. Find filter will be off and toggle nets will be on. In the find by name field, change the field to net and type the net name mclk. Select more to or we can select more to scroll and find it. This brings the property form that we just saw. Scroll in the available properties for fixed. In the edit property form, toggle the fixed setting to true if required and click apply and click OK to close the form. Now right click and choose done. Now select route and gloss. Now we go to file and view log. This gives the gloss log file. So we open the gloss log. This is what we can see. We close this and we save the file.